Hey, good morning, guys. Gonna make a little video here about pretty much nothing. I guess. Let's put it that way. There's a conversation going on through John and me and a couple other guys, and grazing versus on a feedlot. There's no argument. There's nothing. Every farmer has a different operation. This operation, we could not handle grazing. In our area, it's more profitable to put corn, soybeans, alfalfa, whatever. Now, if you remember my feedlot, I had a heck of a stand of oats in there, which I'm going to put a picture in right now. So you looked at that field of oats, and it was a mud pit in about a week. Now that did have corn in it, and it still had the corn stubble and stuff like that. But for me, that works okay. But I make more money planting corn, alfalfa, or another crop to make baleage or dry hay than grazing my cattle in my area. If I have to have 2 acres per an animal in my area, paying land rent at $380 an acre, roughly, that's high, that's medium. There's stuff that was going up in the $500 acre range to graze cattle on them. How in the world am I going to make money? No, you're not. But now let's go out west. A whole different ball game. When you have 4,000 or 5,000 acres, you can graze cattle on them. And you need to have that kind of land to graze 100 head. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. You're still going to have to make hay off your land, store up for the winter. Now, that TMR mixer, I took my fence fund that, my fence in that little feedlot was over 7,000 plus. And I have to maintain it and everything else yet. I took my fence money and bought a TMR mixer to mix my feed to hopefully save money on my rations. Blending feed is a very important part of the operation. You put one feed out there, they'll pick through it, and then they'll let a lot of it go to waste. But if you blend it, you're using everything you have. So I'm going to throw that picture in here, and also the picture of the distillers from the brewery. That's free. For the protein levels and everything else, very good. So I'll throw those pictures in here next. Throw this in here quick. We had a nice little heifer calf last night. This was a heifer first time. So we'll leave her in here with mom for about 3 or 4 days. Heifers, you got to keep an eye on them. Now I lost, I'm going to say less than 1% death loss here on my Angus side. I had 2 cows have twins. 46 was my first cow. She had twins, both of them, she lost them. I don't know how you guys count twins in a loss, but twins are high risk to begin with in Angus. A lot more work. I had another cow had twins. We didn't know she was going to have a twin. And yeah, I should be able to watch them a little better, I guess. But then I lost one of her twins, so we're still way under 1%. And for this size of herd is very good. Mom stepped on her foot a little bit. Pay attention, Mom. So yeah, we have a lot of nice healthy calves. We go through a lot of bedding, but it's fertilizer coming back on the farm. I'm gonna let her go here because I don't want that calf to get hurt. There you can see our newest calf for the born last night. It didn't take me long to get a pen made up here. So we're gonna let her eat and not irritate her here. So I read a comment there, another comment there on another channel, you know, saying that we hide our numbers and everything. We don't open up and tell everybody. I will be willing to work with anybody that's serious. I get too many clowns. You know, first thing they see a big operation, you're not making money. If I wasn't making money, guys, guarantee I wouldn't be here standing, especially on my situation. I didn't have it given to me, so. But I just want to make sure you guys realize I'm not hiding our numbers on our cows and calves. But all I want to tell you, you know, that's a nice cow. We don't sit there and open up and rattle off numbers without actually having proof and sitting down with somebody and saying, hey, this is how it works for us, but it's not going to work for you like this. You'll have to change it a little bit. In our area, our ground is worth so much more an acre. And you guys are not going to believe that, but you know, it's high as 500 an acre. Mid is around 300, and then the lows about 125. And if you can find anything under 125, it's pretty much a swamp. So when you're paying, you know, if you need 2 acres for a cow, just say even, you know, $300-400 an acre, $600 a year just for land rent. It's not going to work. These girls, they go through a lot of bedding, you know, but we bring it off other farms and we trade and we do all kinds of things to cut our cost. So it takes just as much as equipment to do grazing than it does crop farming and putting them in a pen pack like this. But these calves are not, you know, they're not starving. No one was injured. I have them. I keep rotating them around to keep my when they have a calf, small calves go in the lower pen, big calves up here. Yeah, I do have them get out because I don't have a feed rail or feed slanted bar yet, but that's $2,700 I didn't spend yet. But so it's raining outside. Now, if it was frozen, these calves would be out in the dry feedlot eating out there. It would save a lot of manure in here and a lot of work. But again, pretty much all I use every day, 7 days a week, is a skid loader, the self-propelled TMR mixer, and the only time I use is a tractor and a spreader is when we're hauling manure. We don't fire 6 tractors up to feed these cattle. So the tractors are designed to go and do custom work and odds and end jobs. But, so yeah, I am willing to sit down with anybody who wants to talk numbers, but I'm not going to be joking around with some class-ass guy who wants to knock everything about the operation. And there's, you know, just so much of that stuff goes on, I just can't handle it some days. So these calves are not that old. They're gaining weight. The mom's feeding them. They're getting leftover feed on the feed rail. They're eating grass, hay. They're whatever they want. Grain. I didn't treat any of these calves for ammonia yet. I didn't do anything with them other than give the moms a shot when they were inside of her, so that will carry over in, and then we'll do Express 10 here. Once they get about 300 to 400 pound weight. Next job is going to be castrating a couple of the bulls here. I don't want any. There's a bull right there. Get them fixed here. They're getting big. And we don't do it at newborn because you can't find them to begin with, and you end up with a half of a job done. But yeah, I mean, it's great we all talk as farmers, you know, run ideas and stuff. But again, land rent is totally different. 100 miles from here, 50 miles one way, 1,000 miles another way. You guys, we would all in the same boat pay $300 an acre. I want to see how many cattle are going to be out and grazing at 300 bucks an acre. You can't do it. You can't farm. You can't do it. I know you can't. So if you want to do 3 acres, 2.5 per cow at $300 an acre, you let me know how that works out for you. But, you know, there's where we need to start. Everybody that wants to farm cattle, let's start with the land rent. And that's the biggest secret right there. If you're paying a few dollars an acre, but let's go to 300 and tell me it's going to work for you. It's not. So that's what our land rent is in our area. It might shock some of you guys, but that's the way it goes. So that's why we have to push high yield corn per an acre, soybeans, and bring the crops to our cattle. So if you want to be in the cattle business, feedlot, or just buy them in as feedlot, but I like raising my own calves. This works. We got, you know, we'll raise 50 some new calves here total from last year, and the heifers will be chosen as a replacement. Some of the heifers, and the others will go down the road, and the steers will be fed out. And if the markets change and we get a good offer, we will send them at 600, 700, 800 weights out of here and put them on a feedlot. But nice thing about beef cattle, you pretty much bring whatever you want in, they'll eat it. Hey, there was got hot, caramelized. I have invested in those bales right there, $10 a bale. And yeah, and I know you're not going to believe that either, but yeah, that's all I paid for it, $10 a bale. I didn't mow it, I didn't cut it, all I did was bale it. So I paid 10 bucks a bale, and that's cheap feed. Alright guys, well, just remember, we're not trying to tear each other down, but all I want you to do is start at the land rent, and then you can see where it will not work, and you'll say, well done, my friend. Because you don't pay that kind of rent and put cattle on it. And your best option is the way we do things. And here in this area, the next guy that has 4,000 or 5,000 acres, he's good to put 100 head on there if he needs, you know, so much acres per head. And the grass doesn't grow in the same way it does here and out there. If you don't have the moisture and it gets dry, you got to irrigate. You still got to buy hay, and you're gonna pay as much as I do, or the next guy, to bring hay in to feed your cows out on your grazing lot. So, but as far as it goes to numbers, if you want numbers, I'll sit down and talk with you. If you're interested in starting an operation and not joke around, I don't mind doing that. But when I get, and I know who the guys that joke around a lot, and they just get blocked, and they know who they got, actually they are. And I'm not going to mention names because my time's not worth their name. So I will not put up with nonsense. She won't either. But all right, guys, have a great morning, and I'll throw a couple more pictures in here. But again, you know, I figure, the way I look at it, grazing cattle, they waste so much feed. Might as well cut it and bring it in and let it grow back nicely. And like I said, John, he has a good points, and he did a great video. I think it's John Maple something farms, but he'll leave a comment and you go watch his video. So, all right, have a great morning. Hey, good evening, guys. It's about 5:30 here. No new gate. I'm really surprised. They sent a guy up here and they thought maybe we could exchange that gate, which no, it can't work. So I kind of scolded him out again because this is not going to be done. We're putting a new water on here because this one's leaking. And I guess you can't see too well, but this is a brand new water tank, but he didn't have any glue, so they had to go get glue. And I'm not sure where they went, but we'll get it done finally. Eventually or finally, I'm not sure when, but it would be just nice not to have this one leaking here and making a mess. So that's a brand new tank. The other one sits outside. They did not bring those brackets there. So, one day at a time. We'll take this back out, pull back up, re-glue that PVC pipe at 4-inch, and then I think we'll be good to go. So the water's turned off. They're not really thirsty, they're just nosy.